My name is Esteban Gutiérrez, and this car that I'm driving is from Pedro Rodriguez, BRM from the 1970s. So the history of this car, it was driven by and raced by Pedro Rodriguez. We have only been 6 Mexicans in the history of Formula One who have raced in Formula One. One of them is Pedro, another one is myself. So it's a huge honor for me to be driving this car. And with this car, Pedro achieved many great results, some podiums. And yeah, it's just an honor to be here driving this car in Monaco. To drive Rodriguez's car, it's such a great honor for me to be representing my country in Mexico in this event. And even better with the car of Pedro Rodriguez, fellow Mexican, who had great success in Formula One, very well remembered, such a great guy, and so important for the history of motorsports in our country. So to be here driving his car, we made sure to have the helmet, exact replica of the design, the suit as well. So we have everything in place, and it's been really fun process to get here, prepare everything, and of course drive the car. So the engine is a BRM V12 engine. I can rev it up to 11,000, which obviously the sound is incredible. And the gearbox is completely manual, mechanical. So it's probably has been one of the most challenging part of for me getting used to, because when you do the downshift, you have to do the heel and toe, and it's not something we are used to do anymore in the modern cars. Luckily, I did learn to drive manual gear shift when I was younger. So of course, with that experience, I could easily adapt. But then, of course, being so mechanical, the gearbox, you need to be so precise and so decisive and coordinated to have a smooth, let's say, braking phase. And that's quite challenging in Monaco, because sometimes you're braking with a bit of turning and exit of the tunnel. The car is losing a bit of weight, so the car sometimes is moving, and it's so fun to drive. I mean, it's insane and fun at the same time. The most special part of this car is that everything is so natural, everything is raw. There's no electronics, there's nothing. The steering wheel is just a simple steering wheel. You sometimes drive with one hand because you are busy shifting with the other one. You have to synchronize the blip for the downshifts. And one way for me to describe when you get the shifts right is when you play golf and you hit the ball in the center of the club, and you feel that smoothness, and the ball is just flying and going really far away. That same feeling of satisfaction is what you get when you get the shifts right, and it's such a pleasure to have that. To get the most out of this car, it's basically getting comfortable with it. There's not really a phase where you are pushing and the car is driving you. You cannot have that kind of situation. You have to be driving the car, you have to feel comfortable, and then just get with the flow. That's the approach I've been getting, because obviously it gets me out of my comfort zone to be driving this car in Monaco. It's the first time I drive this car, so it's been quite challenging to adapt to it in Monaco, and of course with only one practice, half an hour, then straight into quali. And in practice I could only do half the practice because I had some issues with the gearbox. So now in the race, starting from P3, I'm sure I will enjoy it. It's going to be physical as well. The only thing you can really compare is that it has pedals and a steering wheel, but the rest is completely different. The concept of driving the car, it's basically, this one is very mechanical, very physical, in a different way, because the modern cars are also very physical because of the downforce and the G-forces that you experience in the car. In the modern car, you have so much technology that you have to be so precise. The lap times are so tight with each other, and the difference that you can make it's minimal. It's within a couple of tenths. And here, if you really feel confident and you drive the car properly and you find yourself in the right tricks, you know, on the upshifts, the downshifts, you can gain seconds sometimes. So it's really, you know, the margins are a lot bigger. It's also more dangerous. So every time I go in the car, you know, there's something in the back of my mind that is telling me, okay, have a lot of respect for this, because luckily in the modern cars we have a lot of safety that has been developed by the FIA and, you know, all the motorsports community. So getting into something like this, you realize how much development and progress and evolution has been on the safety side.
Out go the lights and away we go. Not a good start at all by Stuart Hall. A terrible start as Michael Lyons dives into the lead in the number 16. Gregor Jordan, excuse me, I should get that right because that was a brilliant start by him.
Yeah, and a very tough start from Stuart Hall. Esteban Gutiérrez jumps up into third position, but Stuart Hall had to be very robust with Gutiérrez down towards turn 1 to try to keep the lead. And this is the disaster for Stuart Hall because he's going to have to follow Gregor in the Matra, heading down towards that oily entry into Mirabeau. Got to stay on the inside there. Will everybody get through safely? It appears that they have. And now Stuart Hall's got some pressure on. Now Stuart Hall is going to have to make a move and steal back the victory of this race. Has been done, and now it's Esteban Gutiérrez who's having a bit of a look at Jordan Gregor, but look how much power he's missing. Esteban under pressure then down towards turn 1, manages to block the inside line. That's from Mikey Lyons in that Surtees. It does have the straight line speed, but it does not have the position this time as they head up Beau Rivage.
Yeah, Esteban probably one of the youngest drivers and modern drivers out there this weekend. And great to see him enjoying historic racing. And he has got some work on his hands. There's David Shaw right behind him as they head through the bump at the exit of Casino Square and down to Mirabeau, where the dirt and oil is down, and into the old Lowe's hairpin. Now the Fairmont, of course, and into Mirabeau Basse and Portier. And into Portier they go, and Gutiérrez doing a really good job so far, like you say, maybe feeling underpowered, but doing all his skill to keep in position.
That BRM, one of the earliest cars in the race. There's only the Ferrari 312 which had the incident in qualifying.
And as we watch this battle with Jordan Gregor and Esteban Gutiérrez, Stuart Hall doing a really good job. He just put in the fastest lap and is pulling away at the front, but we're quite rightly concentrating on this battle. Esteban doing everything in his power in that former Rodriguez car. And of course, the tradition of great Mexican drivers continues.
Chris Amon, the only driver to race that Matra, and to 6 starts in 1971, and a further 3 starts in 1972. And it was a spare car here in Monaco in the second year of its competition, but it's racing absolutely flat out now. And he's just got a little bit less speed through the first part of the swimming pool. When he gets on the loud pedal out of that section of circuit, it pulls away slightly. And Gutiérrez, the younger of the two, and potentially slightly, not to hold anything against Jordan Gregor, but potentially slightly the more daring of the two into that most intimidating of sections at the Monte Carlo circuit. 19 corners, 3.3 kilometers.
So the way I got into cars basically was through passion. I loved cars since I was very young, and anything that had wheels, I was always on it, whether it was a bicycle, a motorcycle, a car, and then, yeah, at some point, when I was around 13, 14 years old, I started to push my father to convince him to buy me a go-kart first. From then on, it became for me like a challenge, you know, like a target. How far can I go into racing? How far up? And yeah, from 14, I was in Formula 1 at 21, so it was quite a very fast, steep evolution in my career. And yeah, I've had so many nice experiences, a lot of tough challenges that have given me a lot of experience in life, a lot of lessons. And that's why I'm really passionate about motorsports, because it gives you such a great example of, you know, life evolution in general in such short periods of time. You know, within a weekend you can be the hero, then you can be the guy who crashed the car, and then you are not the hero anymore. So all these ups and downs, you live them very in the moment. So it's really special to be part of this motorsports community.